Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our P15 training. This is 15 minutes of power-packed training. Today we're going to talk about F.O.R.M, which is the acronym for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Motivation. This is the basics of conversation with people and how to get to know them so that they will know you, like you, and trust you. So let's go ahead and get started. And I am going to roll through the slides here, and we'll get this done in 15 minutes. Again, this is our Power Pack 15-minute series, so here we go. So this is the power of interviewing, and how important is it for you to get to know people if you're particularly going to try and talk to them about a business opportunity or something like that. You see, people don't know, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You've heard that one before. Well, it's the truth. People like themselves the most. Who's the most important person in the room? They are. Who's the most important person in a conversation? They are. And you know, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should probably use it that way, right? Yeah, of course. And so this just gives you the basics of how to engage somebody, how to find out more about them so that they are going to engage you a little bit and try and get to know you a little bit more. And that's really what F.O.R.M is all about. So when you're doing F.O.R.M or the interview with somebody, it's kind of like a dance, right? You know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just real simple, and it's engaging, and you're getting to know somebody. You're getting into their personal space a little bit. That's what it's about. So again, the F stands for family and friends when you're talking to people. The O stands for their occupation, job, or career. R is their recreation, their hobbies, maybe some interests that they have. This is where you can find some common ground. M is motivation, and maybe are they looking? Are they satisfied with where they're at? You see, you want to keep the focus on them. That's the key. So that when you're asking questions, when they do ask you a question, you will answer it and take it right back to them again by asking them another question about themselves. You're engaging them. A lot of these things I've learned through a particular book called Endless Referrals, the 3rd edition, by an author named Bob Burg, B-U-R-G. So if you want to follow into this a little bit more detail, there's a place that you can find this. Bob says that people will respect and do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So that's the whole purpose of the F.O.R.M when you're getting to know somebody. So let's talk about the F part of it, and that is the family and friends, and give you some ideas of how you can engage somebody. So if I was talking to Bob, and I was introducing myself, Bob, my name's Cal Faber, how are you? And maybe he's just sitting beside me at a Starbucks and we're just having a conversation. I said, hey, I overheard your conversation before your friend left and said that you were in real estate. Tell me about real estate. You know, so, you know, I will open it up and I'll call it an opening question. And, you know, he might say, well, what do you want to know? And I'll go, well, first of all, have you lived here all your life? Because I want to start getting into my interviewing process. So the F part is the family and friends. So how long you lived here in Victoria for, Bob? You say, well, probably 10, 12 years. Wow, really? And, you know, so prior to this, then where did you live? Right? I'm engaging him and finding out more about him. Well, I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Wow, that's quite a move from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Victoria, BC. What brought you here? Well, I met a gal there who's from Victoria and decided to marry her and came to Canada because I heard this is one of the greatest countries in the world. Maybe that, I'm just giving you an idea how a conversation might go. And so I was like, wow, fantastic. And where's your family from then? Are they in Tulsa, Oklahoma? No, actually, they're from Seattle. I actually relocated to Tulsa, and, you know, and so you're getting into conversation with them. You know, so you're asking about their family, where their family's from, how long they lived here for, how do they like it living here, right? Do you love Victoria? I love Victoria. Do you love living in Victoria? Yes, I love it very much. Wow. And, you know, so you're really happy here. You're not looking to move at some time. No. We're planning on settling in here, and this is our place to be. So that would be the F part of the conversation. So I would probably then go to O, and I'd say, well, you told me you're a real estate agent. Have you been a real estate agent all your life? right? Because I want to know what they do for work right now, but also what they've done in the past. I want to know about them. What is some experiences they have? Do they have some formal education? Do they, I want to know these questions. How long have they done their career for? Do they enjoy doing it? Is this the career that they're planning on staying in, or are they looking to do something else? Do they perhaps have a business on the side, right? I want to get to know more about somebody, and it's not nosy when you're engaging them. Oh, you're a realtor. What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you as a realtor? Get them talking about something that's fun to talk about. So you're engaging that person in conversation about their occupation, right? And so you're getting through this systematically with them, but in a nice way. And so they said, well, Cal, I've been doing real estate for 20, 30 years. What do you do for a living? Right? Well, I'm a rocket scientist. It's not that interesting really, but tell me more about your real estate. What is the craziest thing that ever happened to you there? Tell me one of the funniest stories that you've ever experienced. And guys, that's how you engage somebody with the F and the O so far. Now let's talk about the R. I call this the common ground, because this is the easiest place to find common ground with somebody in their interests and their hobbies. So the R stands for their recreational activities, their hobbies and interests. So Bob, you're a real estate agent. I know realtors are very busy here in Victoria right now, the way the market is, but do you find time for recreation? How do you, what do you do for sports? Well, I play hockey. You're kidding me. I play hockey too. I'm not that good at it, but I play it, and so we can get into a conversation really. And how about your wife? You mentioned you have a wife and you have kids. Are they involved in? Oh yeah, they're involved in soccer. My wife's part of a co-ed soccer league, and yeah, we really enjoy that. And so I can find a common interest. We love to travel. You're asking them questions about them. On Saturdays we go to a dance club and we learn how to ballroom dance and jazz and the cha-cha and all that. So we meet a lot of people there. Really, where's that at? My wife's been talking about that. And so you're getting into a conversation, engaging people and finding common ground. That is the R part of it, the recreation, hobbies, and interests, right? And this is a great place where you can spend a lot of time, and that is where that connection is made. People find this the common ground, the non-threatening type environment where they can open up to you, and you can do incredible things in this common ground by getting to know people. It is worth the time and effort and energy to spend on that. So by the time you get to the M is the motivation, the money. I mean, it's really kind of gets you to the point where you're at the basics 101 of whether or not, if you have a small business or if you're in some sort of a business where you might open up a little bit more about what you do, or because of the conversation, what you could do for them. I don't suggest in the first time you meet, unless you don't get a contact card from them, a business card, or don't get their contact information, that if you're never going to see this person again, then yes, then you can tell them, I told you I'm a real estate agent. I also own a nutritional company, and I've been doing that for 2 years. It's been fantastic. I needed more nutrition in my body because my health was failing, and now it's amazing. And if they ask you more about that, then it opens it up, the conversation. Well, tell you what, let me have a look at your phone. Okay, let me put in this website, and you can talk to them. So are they even open to other opportunities, right? In the M motivation. Bob, you said you're a real estate agent. I know it's super busy. Is that something, really that you're planning on doing for a career? Or I know you said you're hitting 55 and you're looking to transition. Are you looking for a business? Are you looking for something to do that could provide you with an income in retirement where you would have to work less? Well, yes, I am. Or no, I'm not. Hey, you know what? I'd love to keep your information. By the way, I'd love to send you a sample of this or that or whatever. Whatever it is that you guys do for a business, this is an opening for you to get to the basic 101, which the basic 101 is the invitation, right? And we're going to talk about that more in the future here. For me, it's what I call the 5 steps to success, and I'm going to do a recording on that as well, so you'll see that on the next one. But this, guys, is the meat and potatoes of conversation. And you may only get through the F and the O with somebody because you see them all the time, And through a quick conversation, you might only get to that. So if you've got a contact list, put their name on it and put, where you got to. I got to the O, so that you can revisit the O and then you can continue on. Because conversation is about getting to know somebody, letting them get to know you. People will do business with people they what? People they know, like, and trust. And that's the whole key to this thing. So this is F.O.R.M. I hope you use it. Become a great dancer, because I tell you, when you do, this opens up whole new worlds for you. And it's a great way to open up conversation, get to meet people, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So have yourself a great day. Thank you for taking a few minutes out. Nice talking to you. Bye for now.